short units. And I also told you this would have no math in it, so we don't need any calculators. And for some of you, it's an opportunity to do well because there's no math. Okay? So we did this whole slide on Friday. I know, I can't get it to close out. All right? So, how many poles are on a magnet?
2.
What are their names? Can a monopole exist?
No.
No. So if we had a magnet that was a north and a south, and I broke it in half, I just broke it apart, and I got 2 new magnets, could I create a magnet that had a north pole here and a south pole here?
No.
No. When I broke it apart, I would get 2 magnets, and those 2 magnets that I got would each have a north and a south pole. If I broke the 2 new magnets I created, those magnets would each have what? They would each wind up with a north and a south pole. There is no way to create a monopole. They don't exist, okay? When you break a magnet, when you smash it to bits, every piece of a magnet has how many poles? 2. They're called north and south pole. Is everybody okay with that? All right. Now, what's the rule for attractive forces that we worked with in electricity? Opposites will do what? They still attract on magnets. Same, or the word like, will do what? Repel. And on the electricity test, believe it or not, I still got some people. Okay? I told you I would, and I did. Okay? I don't know what it is about this word right here. When I say same, I get very few people. When I use the word like, I don't know what it is about that word, but the word like, people tend to think of as the word opposite. And they say, oh, like, and they think like attracts. Like is not opposite. Like is same. Same does what? They repel. Okay? So, when we take our magnets today, and we're going to draw some things, yes, I'm going to expect you to draw. Yes, I'm going to expect you to draw me decent pictures today. So, if I wanted examples of attract, what would you show me that's going to attract? A north and a south. Okay, so if I had a magnet laid out, and you have to lay them so they attract, a north and a south could be laid. So, a north and a south. Because these 2 things will do what? They will attract. Because this is a south, and that's a north, so they're going to attract each other. Now, when you have to lay the magnets so they will repel each other, you could lay the magnets so that that's a north on this end, and that's a north on that end. So this time, this north and this north will repel each other. Okay? Are the north here and the north there going to like each other? No. Can everybody see that? Because part 2 of the lab today is going to ask you to put the magnets down in a way that they're going to attract and they're going to repel. Because you're going to have to sprinkle iron filings. The first time I'll sprinkle them. The second time you and your partner have to sprinkle them. And you actually have to draw them. Okay? So it's important that you be able to lay the magnets down. Now, notice the way I drew them on the board. Are the magnets touching? No. When you lay them down on the lab table and lay your cardboard down, do you want them to be touching? No, you want them to look just like I did them on the board. You want space so they're not touching either. Am I giving everybody time to catch up? Yes or no? William, put your phone up. I think I've seen all the pencils stop now. All right. So what's a magnetic field? Does anybody know? A field of magnets. It's an area where attractive and repulsive forces are felt.
So like when you're holding magnets close together.
Yep. What's this called?
Magnet.
What kind?
Horseshoe.
Okay, how many poles will it have? Okay, just checking. All right, I have 6 of these. Just easy to pull apart from my crisper. And again. Y'all laugh at me. Here's one of the things they make me do it. There, you can see how my hands come. Typically, they check your grip, and they take an average of 3. And you have to squeeze this little machine to check your grip. And I squeezed really hard. First time I got 65 on this hand. It taught me a trick. Just use your fingers more. So I can get up to about 80 on this hand. And that's not too bad. My father-in-law is about the same boat I am, but they point out he's 74. All right, might be a little more. Might be 76. All right. I think they checked a month ago, the first time. What do you think I could squeeze in the tank?
23.
Huh?
3
Three got it right the first time.
What is that?
Think so?
2.
Okay, I didn't know that. So the lady looked at me, she said, "Are you trying?" I'm trying. I want to be in physical therapy the rest of my life? Yeah. So she said, "All right, we're going to try again." So, you take an average of 3. Second time I got 4. Third time I tried really hard because she told me I was supposed to use my fingers more, less hand, more fingers. I got to 5. All right? I know. That's really strong. My husband doesn't have to worry about his spousal abuse, at least my left hand. So, anyways, last week they checked me again. I've made huge strides. Anything up to now is an average.
1055.
12. All right? This week I'm all the way up to 15. Now, so to pull these 2 magnets apart or over a water bottle is quite a challenge. So,
That didn't work.
I did not. Now, so if you want to see, and I'm going to pass this around for y'all to play with. First of all, they will have iron filings on them. Do not hold them in front of your eyes and snap them back and forth, because you will get iron filings in your eyes. Okay? All I got is a water fountain back there, which is an eye wash. I can see your face in it. Push the little handle, and let's just try to get your eyes out of the water fountain. Okay? Then, do not copy somebody's lab sheet while we're sitting in class. And there's that. Dude, did I grade the lab sheet?
Did you?
The person who you're copying, did I grade theirs?
Yep.
And hand it back. If you need help, I will be available during lunch today. It's right through the workshop. I'll be glad to provide aid. Now, I can offer you the eye wash fountain to wash your eyes out. If you get iron filings in it, you can call your parents and then take you to the eye doctor. But if you hold them down here, you'll be fine. You don't have to have them for your eyeballs. Now, when you play with them, you can easily feel the pull of these magnets. They're the strongest magnets I have in the room. You can easily feel the push which is the repulsion of the magnets, okay? I hand these out so that you can play with them, so you can feel the magnetic field, okay? So when I say an area where you feel the attraction and the repulsion of the magnets, you can easily feel what I'm talking about when I say an area, because we're going to draw these in a minute, and I want you to feel that area that I'm talking about, because you're going to be able to feel them repelling and attracting. Now, let me be clear. These are very strong magnets. That will damage your cell phone. So if you have your cell phone on your desk or close by, put it away from you. Right. Use it back. Don't play with them on your desk while you play with these magnets. All right, I'll start one over here by Alexis. I'll start one at the back by the gentleman, and I'll start one over here with John. At the end of class, I want how many of these magnets back?
6.
6. We're not going to lunch once I have all 6 of my magnets back. Everybody should get a chance to play with them. Got it? And don't pinch your fingers, because they will pinch you. Okay? Now, one of the things you're going to do in lab today is you're going to have to draw in part 2, and this is one of the parts of the lab, is you're going to draw an attracting magnetic field. Don't spend so much time playing with the magnets that you don't get your notes. Everybody will get to play with magnets. All right? You're going to have to draw an attracting magnetic field. Okay? It's a little bit like, you remember the things you could buy? Probably did this when you were, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. The little things with the face, and they had the beard. You could take a little pen and draw. Probably played with it in the checkout aisle because mom wouldn't buy you one. Okay? Now, you're going to sprinkle some iron filings on the paper. Now, the iron filings are going to align themselves in a certain way. If it's an attracting magnetic field, okay, attracting, the iron filings are going to make themselves in this lovely circular pattern on the top and the bottom of the magnet. It's going to create this arcing circular pattern. Now, not only does it create this arc there, it also creates this circle between the north and the south. Now, this is much easier to do with a pencil and paper than it is this smartboard. This pen does not like this board with dots.
Stanley Moultrie, please report to the main office. Stanley Moultrie, please report to the main office. Sorry about the interruption.
All right, now, can you see that there look like there are 3 loops on that magnet? That there's a circle pattern here, there's a circle pattern here, and there's a circle pattern there. Can you see the circles?
Yes.
Okay, that's what you should see when you are drawing the magnet with the iron filings on the paper in a little while. You're going to have to do this with a lab partner in the lab. Now, where are the magnets going to be the strongest? Where are the magnets going to be the strongest? Where's the magnetic field the strongest? Where do you think?
Middle.
That's where I usually get the answer to be.
End.
All right, instead of saying the ends, we're going to say the poles. We're going to use the correct terms because on the exam, they're not going to say the ends, they're going to say the poles, okay? So we want to call them the poles in class also. All right, magnets are always the strongest on the poles. Now, how is the magnetic field going to look different when you draw opposing or repelling magnets? Okay? How are they going to look different when they're repelling? All right, does everybody have what they need?
Yes.
All right, so if we have a repelling magnetic field, you could do north and north a little bit, or you could do south and south. It does not matter to me which one you do. Now, first of all, the north and the south, because these are attracting, this part of the magnet is going to look the same. Nothing is going to be different on this part of the magnet. You're still going to have a circle here because it's still going to be round. All right, that's still going to be the same. The north and the north is where it's going to be different. Now, here, you're going to see, whoops, this is where we struggle with the dots. All right, so I tried to draw this where you could see that it's like a half a circle, but you could see that they're pushing up against one another, okay? They're not going to be circles, okay? Not put magnets next to my electronics, okay? Now, do I form a circle pattern between the north and the north? Jacob. Put the magnets back over there on the table where they belong. All right, does everybody have time to get what they need? Now, everybody got it? I'm going to take that as a yes. You will be graded on your drawings. If they suck, your lab grade sucks. All right. What are magnetic materials called? Anybody know? I'm sincerely sorry. I told you, I can only draw with dots because of the board. I can do much better on paper with pencil. Okay? I'm expecting your drawing to look decent when it comes in. After you see it, it will look better when you see it on cardboard with iron filing sprinkled. I will walk around and do everyone's when you do the lab, providing you set it up and call me over. For those people who don't do anything, I won't do anything for you. All right? We call them ferromagnetic. Now, what does it mean to be ferromagnetic? It means iron-based or containing. Okay? The word ferro is iron in Latin. Okay? Now, most people are under the impression that all metals are magnetic. Are all metals magnetic?
No.
No. All metals are not magnetic. Okay? For example, my husband owns an 18-wheeler. He cannot buy regular magnetic decals and stick on the side of his truck. It's made of aluminum. Will the decals stick to his aluminum truck?
No.
No, it will not. They will fall off on the ground every time. Okay? So, what are some examples of ferromagnetic materials? All right, iron is certainly going to be magnetic. Steel is predominantly iron. It's actually iron and carbon. The other two that you guys are required to know are cobalt and nickel. If it's predominantly made of nickel, and I think nickel is actually made of nickel. Like copper pennies are not actually copper. So if nickel is actually made of nickel, then yes. And I think it is. But I think you have to go back to before 1942, maybe?
So now I'm done.
Because, yeah, copper pennies are plated in copper. They're not actually made of copper, because if they were, a penny would be worth more than a penny. Because copper's worth more than that. So, but I can't remember the year during World War II they stopped making pennies out of copper, because they started using the copper in pennies for the war effort. So I don't remember what year they stopped that. Yeah. But whenever that year was, you'd have to look it up. I don't know. Okay. All right, there are two types of magnets we're going to work with this week. The first one is a permanent. Is what?
1943 when the U.S. entered the war.
We entered the war before 1943.
So we entered the war because we got found out.
That was 1941.
That's when World War II started.
We entered the war in 1941. We were sending supplies before 1941, but we entered the war in 1941 when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, December the 7th.
Come on now. Come on.
Huh? All right. What does permanent mean in English class?
Forever.
Forever. Okay. Now, magnets aren't necessarily forever. Have you ever had a refrigerator magnet that stopped sticking to the refrigerator, kept sliding to the floor?
Yeah.
Okay. So permanent magnets in science class means a magnet stays magnetized for a long time. Okay? For a long time. All right? For us, that's going to be the bar magnets that we're using. The ones I passed around, I've had for probably 20 years. Okay? If you have refrigerator magnets, okay, those are considered permanent. Now, why do refrigerator magnets not last very long? Anybody know? Nope, not cold. Well, we're going to talk about heat, but they usually fall off the refrigerator a lot. They get dropped a lot. Getting dropped a lot will cause them to lose their magnetism. Okay? Now, the second type we're going to talk about today is called temporary. All right? What's temporary mean in English class? For a short amount of time. Okay? So these stay magnetized for a short amount of time. So the example we're going to do of this week is going to be an electromagnet. Have any of you ever heard of an electromagnet? Y'all are going to make these, what's tomorrow, Wednesday? Probably late in class Wednesday. If we don't get to it tomorrow, I think we will. But it's possible we won't based on the bell schedule. Just depends on how jacked up that is with the pre-ACT. We will do it on Thursday. And y'all are going to be ahead of fourth period, so we may not do it until Thursday. But y'all are going to make an electromagnet. Now, you're going to make a magnet using, what's that first word sound like? Okay, electrons. What do electrons get used for in that last unit? Electricity. So we're going to use electricity to make a magnet. Why am I missing a calculator over there? We got a calculator. Oh, Jania's got it. Yeah, you can put it back. We won't need it all week. Because I was checking them all. There's one that's got a bad screen. I got to take it to Mr. Butts, but odds are good it's not repairable. I had to check them all and make sure they all worked and the batteries came on for the pre-ACT tomorrow. No, I have to give my calculators to Miss Wells so that they can be in one of the rooms. All right, so what is magnetism? We've got about 2 more pages to go and we're ready to do the lab. All right, so what is magnetism? Can anybody tell me? All right, let me help you. It's a force of what? Okay, of attraction. Why did that do that? Yep. Or it can be what? It doesn't have to attract.
Repel.
All right, or repulsion. Okay, a force of attraction or repulsion due to. Okay, what do you think you have to have in order to attract or repel? The arrangement of what? What do you think has to be arranged? But, yeah. In a what? Due to the arrangement of electrons in a, what are electrons in? In an, yeah. All right, so what causes magnetic properties? I already gave you the answer if you read the top one.
The arrangement of electrons.
Okay. You can say the arrangement of electrons. You could have said more generically atomic structure. If you were just being generic, I would take that. All right. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about today before I let you loose to do the lab is magnetic domain and how to magnetize something and how to demagnetize something. Let me grab a nail. So hopefully by the end of class, you can magnetize something. Yep, we're going to try. Usually works.
Cold as hell.
It doesn't have anything to do with heat. All right. So what is a magnetic domain? It is a region where individual electrons are aligned. Okay? It's a region where individual electrons are aligned. Now, you can say in a magnetic field if you want. Now, sometimes when I say aligned, people are like, what do you mean, Miss Wall? What do I mean when I say aligned? I mean go same direction. But with magnets, we don't write go same direction. We write aligned. Okay? So, what on earth are we going to do with this magnetic domain? Well, we need to talk about how we magnetize this nail. Okay? This nail is not a magnet right now. It won't pick up anything. But we want to talk about how we can make it a magnet. Okay? So that, hopefully at the end of class, but if not at the end of class today, tomorrow when you come in, after it's been sitting here all this time, it will be able to pick up this paperclip. But I'll be able to lay this paperclip on my desk and pick it right up off the desk and hold the paperclip on this nail. Okay? Just like I would be able to if the nail was a magnet. So, what do I do to become magnetized? Okay? Well, what did I just do with the nail? Anybody notice? I set it on what? All right. I place a ferromagnetic object on a strong, permanent magnet. So what were my two requirements? I had to have something that was ferromagnetic. It has to be able to be magnetized, and I had to have a strong permanent magnet. So I took the magnets that I handed around to y'all, and I put a what on it? A nail. So the nail is ferromagnetic, and I'm sticking it on top of these magnets. And I'm just going to let it sit there. Now, what's going to happen to the electrons in there? Now, these electrons are all jumbled up inside this domain. Okay? Currently, okay, these electrons are pointing. Don't write this yet. They're pointing like this. What can you tell me about the electrons? Are they going the same way? No, they're not going the same way, right? So, while they're sitting on that magnet is saying those electrons, I want you to go this way. Y'all need to get in on board. This is what I want to happen. And so all those electrons are shimmying and shaking in there. And so they're slowly but surely vibrating. And they're starting, over time, to start doing what? They're moving in the direction that's starting to get them to all go that direction. Now, when they all go this direction, now the nail is what? Now it is magnetized. Once it's magnetized, I'll be able to pick up this paperclip. Now you can draw it. Okay? Now, is it going to happen instantaneously? No. I would love for it to happen by 120. Odds are not in my favor. But by fourth period, what's likely to happen? It'll probably be magnetized by fourth period. Okay? You got it, Mr. Butts, fourth period. Y'all do. I send this with you. Do you think you can remember to give it to me? Tell him the screen is messed up. I don't know if he can do anything with it, but I can put it in. Show it to him. I suspect the answer is no, but never hurts to ask. All right, everybody got it? All right, so what do we do then to demagnetize? Last slide. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Last slide. What do we do to demagnetize? So we've got the nail, it's magnetized, and now I want to unmagnetize at the end of the day. What can I do? What?
Drop it.
Drop it. Caleb was paying attention to me earlier. All I got to do is shake up those electrons so I can drop it. Now, drop it and hit it is the same thing. Okay, that's the same thing. Drop it, hit it, jarring those electrons. Falling off that refrigerator is dropping it. I want them to move faster and get out of sync so that they're not all going the same direction. How else can I get them to move faster and get them out of sync? What else have we learned this semester that makes something move faster? That's it. Heat them up. Now, a lot of times people will write on their test, boil it. Do you have to boil it?
No.
Just heat it up a little bit. You don't have to boil it. Now, the picture I drew a little bit ago that I said don't draw, that's unmagnetized. Okay, so if you draw your arrows like I had it a minute ago, where they're all pointing different directions, okay, that's unmagnetized. And you do not have to draw it the same way I drew it. The arrows do not have to go the exact same direction at the exact same time. You just want arrows that go a different direction. You don't even have to have the same number of squares up there I have, okay? You don't have to have the same number of arrows. They don't all have to go the same direction. You need a box that has the arrows doing what? Going different ways.
These are one, like 2 boxes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You could have 3 arrows in a box. You could have them going different ways at different times. You just need arrows going different directions to show that it's unmagnetized. Okay? If the arrows all go the same direction, we know it's what? And we know it's magnetized. If they go different directions, it's unmagnetized. Does that make sense? Okay. And so we'll leave this nail on the magnet, and we'll see if it can get itself some magnetism going on here. One for Lexus and one for her.
Are these smooth? These are solid.
What are solid? Oh yeah, those are solids. Now, the white paper is for your drawings in part 2. Should be 2. All right. Part 1 should be pretty easy. Now, I will tell you some of the bar magnets do not work as well as others. Okay? So if you get a set of bar magnets that you don't think works very well, switch it out with a different bar magnet. What have I already told you about the bar magnets? Not to put it near what? But I tell you not to put the bar magnets near your phone. Okay, if you do, it's not my problem. Now, when you get to part 2, what? Magnets and phones don't work well together. Have you ever put a magnet near your TV? It'll mess up the color.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, don't put it near your cell phone either. It'll also strip the data off the back of your ATM card. The little black strip will wipe it clean. Okay, it could mess up the memory on your cell phone. All right, so it'll also mess up the screen on your cell phone. Now, when you get to the part in part 2, you will notice the magnets are labeled north-south. So when you do the attracting, you want to lay them down. You want to make sure there's space between them. Okay? Put your piece of cardboard on top. When you're ready for the sprinkling of the iron filings, call me. I will come by with the iron filings and show you how to do it so you can do your first drawing. You will need a cup to put your iron filings in so that you can sprinkle and do the repelling picture yourself. Okay? Your picture cannot be told crap in order for you to get credit on your pictures. Now, when you label your pictures, you need to make sure on your paper you write the word attracting or repelling so I know which picture it is. And on your bar magnets, when you draw them, you need to label north and south so I know which way the magnets were pointing in your picture. If you don't label those, do I know what it is? No. So make sure you label attracting or repelling, north and south in your picture. When you get to part 3, and it tells you to hold up the magnet, you only need one magnet. You've always answered this long and get it. You're holding up the magnet, and then you're adding paper clips like this, and you're working towards, yeah, but you're going towards the middle. So you're going this way. Okay? And then you're trying to attach like here as you go towards the middle. Okay, you see how I'm doing that?
Yes.
But you're going towards the middle and trying to see what will stick. Okay? I'll see how I did that? That's part 3. All right, everybody good? How many people do I have here? I don't have Vince, so that's what, 19, because Ashanti's supposedly no longer with us, so that'd be 20, and then Vincent here's a 19. All right, so I should have one group of 3. Y'all this time, somebody else next time. All right, go.
I'm grabbing
Huh?
Right. I go tell him he didn't. He said he to be there. Somebody said. We need some material.
I think my mom talking about something. Oh, this girl, they got the big butt. Said, tell my sister. I said, hey. I said, wait. She's crazy. She did.
What you drop? What you drop?
That's what I got. If I do some test tomorrow, can I do test? It's been like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks. How long I had this hair? Like 2 weeks. That's almost I put a paper clip and pin in the nail. That's all I got. Because it said you're staying good. She already showed us the paper clips. All right. So what's the what is that? What's the name? This so this the you got the little things on. Everybody comes in this over there. Like this from let me see. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. No. I only got 2 letter shirts, but that's paper clip and the aluminum shit like that.
Guys, try not to drop the magnets. What are we talking about? So they become demagnetized.
Where's the materials we're attracted to be specific? How specific can you be?
So you have
Do what? Why would you need tissue? For say, magnets, I'm like, what's whole?
I don't know how specific I can.
About all I got. I need to buy more.
It's actually oh, it's actually what type of material it is? Or is it actually what it is?
Why are y'all in a two
But
groups
it's
of
actually
three?
like what kind of
Did I say groups of two?
material?
I said that group of three, and they could not be next to three tomorrow.
Yeah, like metal or aluminum.
Like, what things?
Ms. Hall, when you say what materials, you want to tell you the material is made of, or like paperclip?
Yeah, like what the material's made of. Look in your notes.
My notes is over here. That's what a nail is made of. No, a nail is made of yeah, iron. Paperclip could be made of steel. And it's up over Now, look it up on there. Look, I got that phone. I'm thinking this getting in there, maybe. Oh, come on, okay. So I want to be there.
So when we get to the second question, it says, sprinkle the iron. So you're gonna do that? Okay.
Are you ready? You got it set up? Set up.
How you want it underneath?
They can set up.
Underneath, right? Steel.
That's why can I get some water?
I said, leave space.
Yeah, the paperclip is steel.
Iron bottom.
Okay, you need a stiff piece of card. We got the two magnets. Stiff piece of cardboard. Right. And iron filling. Demonstrate resistance of forces.
I thought that was here all over the place.
I can tell you. I think I should have scratched my head.
Sometimes I worry about it and him. Everybody else ready for the iron bottom? It's not set up yet.
It is set up.
Now, I would swear we had a whole conversation about where those belong in reference to that lovely poster paper. Chocolate, you're supposed to be space between the magnets. How about you listen to me and space between these things? And put the board on top.
This one.
I'm holding it down while I tax it, trying to put it in my mouth. Mm-hmm.
Ready?
All right, do them first. Now I'll be able to. gonna turn yours sideways. We got a little more.
We have to have one, so
You do one front, one back, I don't care.
The cook. I already feel it.
Welcome.
Hello?
Let me get, where are you going now?
that's six. I'm trying to be artist now.
I held it and I tapped the pencil.
Yeah, I'm gonna start being artist too. She ain't gonna
All right, what else you guys? Yes.
Got you, bro.
So your paper doesn't get bumped possibly by YouTube account. Because if you move it, it will move it.
Do we have to make them dance? Do we have to make them dance?
I just can only draw dots on a smartboard. No, it's not there. It was a snack. Oh, that's cool. That's probably the best one I've seen.
Yeah.
That one's really good. All right, Bob. Anybody else ready? We are under cardboard.
I'm trying to get every exact detail.
Okay, look, you messed it up.
Yeah, we just did.
Anybody else? Ready?
I can't.
I'm good at eraser.
Give us the right thing. Use the Look, hey, careful. All right, this is what it looks like. On the white paper. Are y'all ready back here? There you go. Okay.
Thought they blew the things off their paper.
It's the
Now you put your iron pockets in the cup and then you in there. Right? You saw what I did. So now you do that. If you can't do it, I'll come help, but you give it a shot.
Boom.
Well, maybe it's not. Let me see the house. Yeah, so we was gonna do it. And you went crazy. And I was like, you need to stop. Because you went crazy. And it was hurting. I said, wait a minute. You want to go to crazy. Slow your roll. I am not know what if you did. So he was going crazy, girl. And I was just like, yeah, you need to stop. You went crazy and you kept walking. I was there back like a minute. And he was like, okay. Well, man, I ain't care. Don't you do it at me. Maybe he didn't swear. He was just doing way too much. Like, this is the real life. It was a porn video. He's not be doing all this. I'm trying to pop up. I'm crazy on me like karate. Like, okay, what you doing here? And he was on bed, and he stood up, and I got beside him. Like, hey, sorry, I knew it was about to go crazy. I was like, oh my God, my body came off, and it was a minute. And I was like, yeah, I could find it. You got some food. Where do you find the majority of iron? It's I say towards the. That's how is it what?
Boom.
Let me add a little bit more, make it like a all right, so what was y'all say the majority of the songs are? Was it and you want us to put like, are you want us to put north and south?
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know if I did this good enough. I did the best I could.
This wall.
I'm the hardest.
But yeah.
Come in. Play with the tractor, tell you listen to your magnets. Yes, Raul. Time?
They is a lot spread out right here, but a lot of them. So that's what you're gonna put for number 4?
All right, where's your magnet and your crumble? All right, explain this shit.
I'm not assuming, but I like.
Come on, he ain't done yet.
Stop, bro.
Now we
Stop. I'm not done yet.
Just start.
All right, now you got to put it in there, and you got to do the other one. What the heck is it?
It goes like that.
Oh, I'm taking this to be about 9. I think I had it on my I had it You're supposed to say yeah. I had it for 2 weeks though. That's pretty good. That's almost a month.
I can't tell them. I got to do it. Tell that.
So good.
I don't know how it is.
Y'all ready to answer the questions now? Everybody ready? Okay, first off, for number 4, what y'all? Middle.
That's all, man. I was, but I left her.
All right.
Man.
And now, for number 10, we got a switch.
You still going to
Oh, you see that? Well, let's read this.
It's not gonna look right. Y'all pour it in the cup and pour it right now. Right.
Yes, that one is fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking good. There's no way she gonna make that decline line. Mine's too good.
That's what we stuck together? I thought that was supposed to repeat. Yeah. You're doing it right.
Yeah.
So you should put the, get the north and north together, the south to south. I put the south south, but you put north north. No, I stretch mine out, so it can be facing like okay, for repelling, it'll like you should go on like this. Like this. Then it's like a silicone. You gotta finesse it. See if y'all start looking like ours. You got this little shit out there.
Ever walk this selection? Hey, what is it?
Bless you.
Thank you. All right, so this one I'm just still.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna do that.
I'll lay that in his list. Black is a very nice. Shit, that's how much. Shit, what you.
Yep, I can work with it. Yep, we're all repelling now.
We made a promise. I can't do it. I can't get this side of this side.
Okay. Want to move inside?
It's creaky. Fix it.
That is much better. Much better. Yes.
I mean, he's gonna come alive.
Look at mine. I got labeled up.
Yes, it's fine.
She does. We should like some trouble. I'm seeing
William. I can eat pet foods all the time and never gain weight. And I do like 7 sports. It's impossible.
You ever eat something and you just like, I'm like, it's like you just ate it. Yes, I be having to stop myself. I have to take naps to stop from eating. Cause I would eat at the house. I don't know. We got food to eat, right? Eat a lot of food. Ain't that what it's for?
But what?
Oh, do you know what you're doing?
I don't feel like that's a question everybody asks, Rose. I don't know why I felt like we had a test. Why don't they
All right, you need to find a good stopping place so that we can clean up the mess y'all have going over there on your counters. Because I don't want to have to spend my lunch picking up after you. Now, if you want me to hang on to your stuff, If you want me to hang on to your stuff, staple your papers and put it on the chair at the front. Pick up your stuff. Staple it if you want me to hang on to it, put it in the front. All the little pieces, put in the cups. The iron filings, just put in the white cup and put back here. Put your magnets back in their containers if they have one. I got empty boxes back here. Hello. You've got plenty of time. I stopped you early enough, so we have time, and I would have a mess to clean up.
Bad.
Hey.
If you want me to hang on to your stuff, staple it, put it in the chair. Yeah, when you turn it on. Turn it on. Came on earlier. But you can say, yeah.
What do you want us to do with that?
If you want to combine it all in one cup, and I'll put it back in there.
Oh my God, yeah. So much. I gotta ask you. I know. This is this.
Good job, like, keep up left.
This was some other home now.
You're hard to left and the picture.
Yeah, just staple it together and put it on that chair.
You caused the breakdown.
We got question posts.
You just got
I'm not gonna need it. I'm gonna try it. There you go. I lay my phone there for you. Just to save it for you. Now we have not wasted. All right, if you want me to hang on to your paper, make sure it's up there on the table.
Use my phone.
All right, we will finish this tomorrow. We should be able to be done in about 20 minutes, right? Make sure I got all 6 magnets up here with my nail. Yep.
Naya, move.
You got a hand sanitizer?
What What you need, my dear?
Do you got hand sanitizer?
I have hand sanitizer? Yeah, it's over there. It's the clear stuff.
I like to see.
You be